Hello, it's me again. Yay! Today I'm going to tie this, it's called a golden gun, and it's on a Stanton 14mm high water tube, which is the same weight as tungsten. This one will be about 6cm. Today I'm using Lagartun 74D thread. I like this for tubes because it's extra strong and it leaves a lovely silky finish. So get your tube into your tube adapter and secured so it doesn't move. First material is this H2O fibre, which has lots of names. It's from Vineyard. You want to chop off just a bit of pencil's width and then taper it just in your fingers. The taper's really nice, this stuff. You can trim it on the fly as well, but I prefer to try and get it mostly done by hand. So you want this tail just about where your silicone tubing ends. And all the little grooves on these tubes are great. They help you lock in the materials. So just get that tied in. Scissors are getting blunt. We want to leave lots of room at the front here, because that's where the bulk of the material will be going in. This is a 2-wing Templedog, so it's a little easier to tie than the usual 3-wing. Next thing we need is gold. You can use wire. This is a Lagartun French tinsel in small. I love it for it's so strong. You don't really see it. You can use wire, or as long as it's fairly small. So just get that tied in. Then we're going to find our cape that we've lost. I had this all prepared. So then we're going to take a grizzle hackle. This is a whiting whole cape. These are about 80 quid, so you get thousands of flies out of these though. So I'm going to want one that's not too big. They're all long. You want one with a nice taper to it. And we're going to tie this in on my side. I'm just stripping back some of the fibres there and tying it in. Pull that off. And that'll act as our palmer. You've got to tie it in from the small pointy end so it tapers and gets wider as it goes up. You're building the profile of this fly. Next material, SSS in Nasty Rusty. This is great. It's dead spiky, this stuff. Just pop your wire out the road. You want a fair bit of this on, because we're going to brush it all out. So fairly loose. And build up a nice little body. Just take your time with this because it can go everywhere. And I want to leave about 2 segments of the tube here completely free. So don't be scared to go back up. You want to build quite a nice dubbing ball. And then take your palmer hackle. You can now double it back. You can of course do this traditionally and tie it in at the top, palmer down, and then take your wire back through, but this way is much stronger. I've started doing all my Templedogs like this now. So just double that back as you go. And you'll get maybe 4 turns of this on there. This all holds the wing up. Yep, 4 turns. This wire's going everywhere. 4 turns to hold it on, and then just bend it backwards. That'll create a little thingy-majiggy to lock it in, and then just a couple of wraps back over that. Then take your wire. This is just to lock the fibre and the dubbing in. So just 3 or 4 turns through that. And keep that tight and get it locked in. And snip away. So you want to get everything you've trapped swept back. Quite fiddly, these flies, but well worth the effort. And then take your dubbing brush and start to pick out that dubbing. And this gets trapped in the grizzle fibre and flashes away in the water. It's really cool. You can really go to town. This will release all the trapped fibres as well, because you've got wire holding it in, plus it's wound from the end. There we go, that'll do it. Then we do our first wing, which is yellow fox and orange. And we're going to mix this because we can only get 2 wings on these tubes. So take a bunch, get rid of the fluff at the bottom. Keep that for dubbing, it's excellent. Stick it in a coffee grinder with all flash and stuff like that. And whiz them up. So, taking the fluff out. Which is all over my beautiful t-shirt, which are available on the website. Sales plug. And then just mix these. Just pull them from the end and line the ends up again. And it mixes up pretty quick. It's a messy job. I'll just get rid of that crap. This saves a bit of bulk by mixing them. So that's got a nice taper. And I'm just going with this about 2 times the tube length, and then the black will come over the top. So just get a couple of wraps on top. I just do 3, and then you want to spread all this out around so it covers the top half of the tube. And then get it tied in. Oh, there goes my thread. So that looks good. And trim this. You need good scissors for this, to be honest, and curved. That's spread out nicely. And I'm just going to go back over a little. So I've got to get a hackle in here. And now this is a golden gun, so we're taking some holographic angel hair in gold. A good bunch, about a dozen strands. Something like that. Or you can put less in if you want, you can put more in if you want, it's entirely up to you. Double that over. Just be careful with your wraps here, because you start to run out of room pretty quick. And then cut that to a taper. I'm just going to tidy this up. Oh, there it goes again. Sometimes with these tubes, there's little rough bits that knacker your thread, and this is one of those. So there we go. Then the next thing is a yellow and orange hackle. So I just want a reasonably smallish one off this hen cape. You want it just longer than the grizzle hackle there. Same with the orange. That'll do. Throw that away. So strip your fluff off. Do the same with the yellow. Then we want the yellow behind the orange. And if you just pull the hackles back, I just leave this and then tie in where the gap is. Four turns, flick that off and then fold the remainder back, and that gets it locked in. And we're just going to do one turn of this. You can tie these on. What the fuck have I done here? There we go. You can tie these on big 19mm versions of these, but they're hard to cast because of the weight. You need a big rod for them. So just one turn. Don't worry about these going forward. And then snip away. Brush everything back. You can see why we left all that space now. And the next thing is some black fox. We want less. about half the amount we've got there, but longer. Get rid of the fluff. And then just place that on top, and we want it longer than the yellow and orange. And I'm going for 6 centimetres here, which this one is. So I'm just gonna, I usually use a ruler, but I'm hideously unprepared for this. That's 6 centimetres. So just tie that in, just 3 turns, and then the same again, spread it over the top half. This is quite a thin wing, so you can see all the flash through it. It's really, really cool. I just love these things. Perfecto. I like the flash to poke out the end. It looks amazing in the water. It looks like a tail swimming, but I have a couple just a bit too long. Remove this crap. Just tidy up again. Lovely jubbly. Just got a wee bit of fluff there. I can hardly see because that feckin' light is shining at me for the camera. And the last thing, you could leave it there if you wanted to, no problem. That's actually a good fly, but it's got one more hackle on it, which is a larger again hen hackle. This is a whiting again, so it's really top notch. They're really thin hackles, thin fibred and strong and lovely. They move great. So just get that on there. Whoops. Then just wind that on. Just a one turn will do it. That just cloaks the colour, which is the idea of these Scandi flies. It's all about creating the illusion of translucency. That's why all the flash is hidden inside the fly. Really, I love that theory. I try and use it on all my little flies as well, as much as possible. And last but not least, in these days of jungle cock's essentially illegal now, if you didn't know, to buy. I don't know, it's not illegal, but it's also not legal. So it's very hard to source. So I've given up on it. Now I use just the grizzle hackles from the bottom of my cape here. They're perfect. They add a fish-like look to these, which is what they swim like. So I just stick a couple up the side. Just to about 3/4 of the way. And then if you bend it, the water will sort it out anyway. And these ends do little palmer hackles as well. So I'll just get that one in. Same thing on this side. Oh, shit off. Always at the bloody best moment that happens. So just get your thread back on. So just get those tied in. Keep those. And a little tidy up. That's looking good. Just bend those back in, and then a little super glue on the thread. Just about an inch or something, just to get the thread locked in. Not too much, because you knacker your bobbin if it runs down into it. So that's enough to hold it. You don't have to whip finish. Take a dart. Darts are excellent for bobbins. Also, I fucking love darts, so my two great loves. Just get the glue that's gone on spread about there. Let it dry, and Bob's your uncle. And that'll just, these things just move amazingly well. So that is a golden gun on 14mm Sean Stanton high water tube, but just call it a golden gun because that is a fucking mouthful. If you want to see anything, just leave us a comment or whatever. Alright, cheers!